Nobody likes water rings on their furniture, so today we're going to protect your end tables by making a beautiful summertime print coaster. A lot of the tools we use today come from sewingpartsonline.com. This is the Cut Loose Press Superstars pattern. It's actually a pattern for a table topper and coasters, but we're just going to demonstrate a coaster today. We're also going to use the Creative Grids Spider Web Ruler. These angles are good. If you have a square piece of fabric, I'll use this Post-it note. You can put the angle along those angled lines and cut pieces off of your small square to make a kite shape, a star shape. We're going to use this today. We're also going to use the Nifty Notions Teflon pressing sheet. The exercise we're doing today is actually an applique process. So we are going to fuse two pieces of material together. And then finally, we're going to use applique scissors. For the fabrics, I chose two different prints. What we want are 4 different squares, each measuring 2 3/4 inches square. Next, we're going to use the spider web ruler. Take one of my squares, I've turned it diagonally, and I'm going to match it up with the white lines on the ruler at the 3-inch mark. When I lay the ruler on top of that, then I can take my rotary cutter and slice off the outer edges. And what we're left with is a kite shape, which is perfect because that's what we want. We're going to repeat this step for all 8 pieces. Next, we're going to lay out our 8 kite-shaped pieces in 2 rows. I'm being careful to line them up along the cutting mat because I want the top and bottom points to be even. The step we're going to take is we're going to cut 1/4 inch off the bottom of each of these kite shapes. Now that they're lined up neatly, I can use the spider web ruler. The bottom edge of that is a 1/4 inch marker, and with the rotary cutter, just slice off 4 of those at a time. What we are left with are our 8 separate pieces that we will now take to the sewing machine. So our coaster is going to come together like this with our 8 pieces. I'm going to sew a seam allowance, a 1/4 inch seam allowance in pairs, starting with these 2. I'll do these 2, and these 2. Once you've done your pairs, then we're going to do quarters. Folding this over here and sewing a seam along this quarter. Same with this, folding it over on this quarter. And then finally, we have 2 full halves. I'll fold those over and run a seam. Now after we run each seam, we're going to press it in place, and then we're going to open the seam up and press it as well. Okay, next we're going to just rough cut a piece of fusible interfacing, just slightly larger than our coaster. And cut it out like that, and we go to the ironing board. Okay, this is our Teflon pressing sheet. The fusible sticky part will not stick to this. So what we want to do is take our fusible fleece, lay it sticky side up. This is the sticky part right here. Then lay our coaster fabric on top, right side up. I'm going to sandwich this in between. We're going to press this. Now, when you press something fusible, do not take your iron and go in circles. Just press and hold it. I'm going to press and hold this for about 20 seconds on every spot. Now we're going to open this up and see that sticky part, it releases from the Teflon beautifully. So now, all we have left to do is go cut this out with our applique scissors. And this is the finished product. It's a nice 5-inch diameter coaster with a nice soft fleece backing. So go to sewingpartsonline.com and get your supplies and get busy sewing.